Okay. Hey, everybody. Welcome. It is March 15th, and we're super excited to be kicking off our pre-qualifiers call tonight. We have an awesome special guest this evening, Miss Veronica Lahanas. So we were at the Saturday Regional this past week and had some incredible trainings. And Veronica and I wanted to share this with you, and she is going to be presenting on them tonight because she is incredibly good at teaching and sharing. So we are going to talk about something super, super important, the DMO, your daily method of operation, daily method of opportunity, whatever you want to call it. So I will let Veronica go ahead and get started without further ado.
Thanks. So I was kind of thinking in my head, I was like, how am I going to start this off? So it was much better than what I thought. But so as Kristen said, we went to a Super Saturday, and what that is basically just an event. So I know I post a lot about these things, and you've probably heard this ad nauseum from your uplines, but go to events. If you haven't been to one, you have to go to one. It just opens up a new door of opportunity to shape your thinking, just give you more knowledge about anything that you're doing. And the first event that I ever went to was conference, and wow, the energy there is just amazing. So if you can get to conference, you have to go to conference. And the way to get there, if you want to go and get a free conference ticket, is get to VF. Okay, that's all you have to do. Super simple, right? But if you can't get to conference because of other obligations, there are different things like regional trainings or like pajama regionals or live events that people do host. So definitely take advantage of these opportunities. There's so many knowledgeable people that you can encounter there, and just getting there, you just get really engulfed into the community and the mission, and you get to just meet so many people with a wealth of knowledge that can expand what they know to you, and then you can just pass on to everybody else. So just highly encourage that, but I'll just get off my my little soapbox with the event thing. So into why I'm doing this presentation. There's been a lot of stuff happening in my life that I've been trying to figure out, and I swear to God, this presentation couldn't have come at any better time than this past weekend, because I was really struggling. I was really struggling with how I managed my time, how I didn't piss off any of my relationships that I've been having, because I am a serious workaholic. I love to work, and I know that sounds so weird, but it's just what I love to do. I find so much success in it. I find so much happiness in it, because when I do something and succeed at it, I'm just psyched, and I just want to keep going, because why would I stop that momentum, right? So I just had to figure out how to compartmentalize everything into making it super fair for my actual work, my juice class work, and my, I guess, housework when it comes to my boyfriend. So I just had to make sure that I'm being equally fair, but still crushing my business and crushing my life every single day. So I am going to share a screen I'm pretty much going to take the presentation that I learned when I was in Fredericksburg and just share it with you guys. And if you guys have any questions along the way, or are confused about anything I'm saying, or if I talk really fast, because that's what I tend to do when I get excited, just tell me to put a pause on it, and I totally will. All right. So let me figure out how to share screen. That'd be a good start. Okay, here we go. And I'm going to slideshow and start from the beginning. So the DMO, daily method of operation, as Kristen said, daily method of opportunity, whatever way you want to look at it that way and just run with it, okay? I'm going to keep going so I don't spend any time on this, because it is a lot of information, but it's a lot of good information. So take notes if you need to, but I'm also going to post all these slides up so you don't have to memorize any of this. She basically broke it down into different days and how to compartmentalize things so you don't miss anything, but you spend an equal amount of time on each important thing that's in your business. So on Monday, she labeled it as momentum. So you want to start off the week really strong, right? You want to set the tone for the week, start reaching out or calling customers and prospects. We say about 10 is a good start, just to kind of get that prospect list down, have people just in mind that you want to reach out to, and it's like hot hands, they're really hot, you want to get them going, and that's who we want to ask to take the next step. So we want them to take action. We want them to do something, right? You want them to order product. You want them to do the shred. You want them to buy a tower garden. You want them to join your business. So you want to reach out to people who you want to get involved in this journey, right? And I'll get a little bit more into detail about all of these. Tuesday is focusing on teams. So that's when you're helping your team do team building, business building activities. So making sure that you're on Zoom calls, setting up events, and finishing up any follow-ups that you had on Monday that you may not have gotten to because some people block off time, and once that time's done, it's done. And that's totally cool. I have a really hard time stepping away, so it's what I'm working on. And this is why this is really helpful. Wednesday is what we consider the wrap-up. So we're going to tie up any loose ends from Monday or Tuesday and make sure that we need to finish any of the calls that we needed to make, follow-up messages, anything like that. And if you're having events over the weekend, you want to make sure or even the following week that you planned out, you want to make sure that you're inviting people to those events that day. And then obviously you have your pre-qualifiers call, so why wouldn't you want to come on that at night? So you want to make sure you get onto that. Then we have Thursday, so thank you Thursday, which is also very important. Sometimes, you should every week get an email that's called the Preferred Customer Genealogy. So you want to make sure you're looking at that. It's actually really, I know it looks super overwhelming. I remember the first time I got it, I just kept deleting it because I was like, I don't even know what I'm looking at. But it actually has a lot of really good information. It tells you a lot about your customers and what's been going on in any of their scenarios. So you want to just make sure that you look at, I think it's this last column or second last column all the way to the right. And that's going to pretty much tell you the status of your customer order. And we'll go into more depth with that. Friday is your final follow-ups, right? You're going to close all the gaps, all the activity that you did that week to make things move into action. So make sure that you're closing everything up. You want to make sure that they have answered you and have given you an answer. So you want them to either watch a video if they haven't given you a final answer. You want to invite them to an event if they haven't really made up their decision, or invite them to get on a three-way call, because connection calls are gold. And you want to have that third-party validation, because you can say whatever you want, but sometimes people just need to hear from somebody else to actually believe you. And it's a weird thing, but it's just how life works sometimes, right? And then Saturday and Sunday, we want you to enjoy your weekend. So that doesn't mean just totally forget about everything and just be like, yeah, totally, I worked so hard this week and now it's my weekend, I'm just going to keep nothing, right? When you go out, you have so much opportunity to share your story. You always want to work with passion and work with purpose. So be smart about it. If you are out and your friend's like, oh my gosh, I'm sick all the freaking time, ding, 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 you should probably bring up something about how you can help them, right? And then Sunday is, yes, we want you to have a relaxing day. You always want to designate one of those days at least, to have a full day off, because that recovery time, just like working out, is super important for your mind to just kind of recover and sit back. So if you have a mindless TV show that you like to watch on Sundays, probably a really good day to do it, but don't forget to set up your DMO for the next week, because you want to make sure that your week is set up intentionally to have a lot of money generating activity, right? Okay, I think I've got that. So we're going to start with Monday. Going on to Monday, like I was saying, you want to create a prospect list. So it could be customer prospects, distributor prospects, who are asking to take the next step, okay? So we want at least 10 of them. If you come up with more throughout the week, add them on there and reach out to them on the designated days. So if you come to Tuesday and you're like, oh my gosh, this person would be a great prospect, why would you not reach out to them? Reach out to them, don't be scared. Reach out to those people on your chicken list. You'd be really, really surprised. So the hot hands list. So what I was trying to tell you before, it's going to be a list of 10 people that you want to reach out to that day. What your goal is to move those 10 people to action. Make them a new customer, make them a new distributor, join the mission, or have the customer watch a video. Okay. You want to start off that week strong. You want to start off with at least reaching out to those 10 people. So at least you have something to work with for the remainder of the week. Okay. Tuesday. So Team Tuesday. This, like I said, you want to help your team with business building activities, setting up events, doing Zoom calls, anything like that. What a great time is to look at your customers and see who's been reordering, who has been participating really excitedly in your shred group, who has been referring you so many different people to just take Juice Plus because they're so excited about it. those types of people are raving fan customers. You want them, you want to have that conversation with them. You're like, holy crap, like you're amazing. You love this product and I want you on my team. And you want to tell them why. Just be like, I think you're flippin' incredible. Your energy's so great. And you've already referred me like 3 people. You could have got promoted to DD in like 30 seconds. So you just like kind of look at it that way. And then you also want to share with your family and friends about why, or share your why about why you're doing Juice Plus, either at the product or the business. And you can ask your family and friends to join you too. And then set up events to share what we're doing. I know events are me and Kristen's bread and butter. We love setting up tables. We love just going out and talking to people because you can kind of vibe with them a little better. You can kind of see their body language. You can kind of hear the tone in their voice. Sometimes when you're texting people, it's super hard to understand like how they're actually really feeling, or if they're just like ignoring you, or if they're actually busy. So it's really good to just get out there and just have those conversations and start building those relationships, because that is what's going to make you successful, is relationships in this business. And as far as working with your current team, you want to look at your virtual office. And I don't know if you guys have ever looked at anyone's like fast track the team building bonus. You can kind of like check in with your people and just see like what their orders are on their on your genealogy, or if you want to report that way, and see how close they are to their next promotion. If they're like super close, like maybe 3 orders away, it'd be a really good idea to be like, okay, let's set up a Facebook party for you. Start like setting goals to them. I want you to reach out to 5 people a day, and then just go from there. So start setting like little goals to them so they can hit their big goal in the long run. Set the activities, and then if they do get somebody who is like super interested, but you are having a hard time sealing a deal, just ask the person that you're talking to, hey, I think that it'd be really great if you got on a call with my friend. She's really awesome, and she can just answer any other questions that you may have about this. And I think you'd really love talking to her. You know, it can be super, super simple. Don't ever say that you don't know what you're talking about, or that you're unsure of any questions that you can ask, because you know you always have us as a backup. That's why we're here. And you always want to, especially with your team, like that's a really great day to like check in. I know Tuesdays are sometimes like a slummy day, you know, you just got done with Monday, and then you're like not close to the end of the week where you have like a wedding coming up and you're super excited about. So Tuesdays are a really great day to start encouraging your team, just like cheering them on and being that support system for them. You want to encourage, inspire, support, and motivate. That's a really great thing to do for your team. Like, who doesn't like a really good pat on the back? Another thing that we were learning was cupping. So if you ever want to like take your hand and like start cupping and like patting yourself on the back and like getting all the bugs out to have a good start to your week, that's a really good way to do it. Wednesday is wrap up Wednesday. So you're tying up any loose ends that happened on Monday and Tuesday, and make sure your personal invites are set out for your events. So any text messages or calls that you've had, you just want to wrap them up, and you want to, again, try to move them into action. So try to move them into at least watching a video or into going to a 3-way call. And then you're also searching for events to set up for the following week. So you want to start getting that set up, or even for the rest of the month. You want to start like getting that planned out so you can actually plan out setting your invites and doing all that kind of stuff. And then Thank You Thursday. This is actually one of like my favorites, because it's really, really important to do customer care and to thank your customers for trusting you, or doing this journey with you, or taking the steps for a healthier lifestyle with Juice Plus. So like I said, with your genealogy, there's a column there, and they have a bunch of A's, hopefully not a bunch of D's, hopefully not a bunch of C's. The D's mean a declined credit card. So that just means they might have got a new card, they might have had insufficient funds, something might have happened where their card changed, or they had fraud. So you just want to make sure you reach out to those customers who have a D next to their name on the genealogy. And again, that column, I think, is the second last column on the genealogy. If you don't know how to pull a genealogy, please get with your upline and let them show you. It's super, super easy, and they're really important. But again, you do get it. I think it's on Sundays, once a week. So you can always check that. And you also want to check and see if your team have declines, because obviously if any declines under you aren't getting through. You want to make sure that that gets reconciled by the end of the month, so you have nothing wrong with like your PB line. And then there's C's. So C's are customers that canceled. So if you ever see a C that pops up and you're really confused, you probably want to reach out and make sure that your customer is okay, and ask them why they wanted to cancel their order. And if it was something that wasn't explained to them accurately, at least you can kind of mend that and hopefully educate them and have them reconsider. And then you want to follow up with your R's. So your R's are the people who delayed any orders. So any delayed shipments that you had to push off, you want to make sure you're looking at that and asking them if they're ready to keep going. You want to also make sure you're checking in on them and making sure that they're creating the Juice Plus habit. You don't want them to like delay the order and then still not take their Juice Plus. And you reach out to them again and they're like, yeah, like I still have like 5 bags. I don't know what happened. You know what happened. They didn't take it. Like it's not that complicated. So you need to be a really good rep and just make sure that they're creating that habit and they're going through and actually taking Juice Plus. The one really great thing that we learned in Branson is literally the customer has one thing to do. They have to take their hand out, put the Juice Plus in their hand, open their mouth, and swallow it. That's literally their only obligation that they have. Your obligation is to make sure they do that, okay? So that's when you see those R's, you wanna make sure that they're not there, because that means you're doing your job and you're doing a great job of that customer care. And then, I guess that's good with that. Second part of Thank You Tuesday is going through your whole customer list and just going through them and reaching out to them and just being like, even if they don't have a decline, even if they don't have any delayed orders, even if their credit card is imperfect and they just paying you every month and been a super happy customer, you still want to reach out to them and thank them. You want to thank them for being your customer. You want to thank them for doing the really great thing of making that simple change for themselves and for their family, especially if they're on a CHS order or if they've tried to like bring more people on the mission with them. You just want to make sure that you are thanking them because they are a super critical part of your success. So you want to reinforce that for them. You also want to reinforce like why they started Juice Plus and we're kind of remind them. So obviously everyone starts Juice Plus for a reason. So you want to make sure that they remember that reason. So if it's continually in their mind, they're not going to want to cancel because they're like, oh yeah, I definitely started this because I had so much inflammation in my body and I don't want that to come back because I felt really great. Because once people start feeling great, they kind of are like, yeah, I'm better now. I'm cured. Like I have no idea what happened, but I feel great. So I don't need this anymore. That's not good. It's like if you start exercising every day and you stop exercising, you're automatically not going to gain weight again. You're going to gain weight again. So you just have to reinforce like why it's super important to stay on the product. And then expand. So if they're only on the Duo, so only on the Orchard and Garden, you want to ask them, just being like, I'll kind of break down this for you, but you want to ask them if they want to expand to maybe adding the Vineyard, or if they've been like on a like weight loss funk, you want to ask them if they want to join a shred and maybe add some shakes to their order. So something, it could kind of sound like something like this. It's not going to be like super perfect off the top of my head, but you just want to reach out to somebody and be like, hey Liz, thanks so much for being my customer. And it's been so great being on this journey with you. I know you're making the right decision when you were getting sick all the time and you've just like had so much success not getting sick. And we've had so much clinical research that is proving that you will continue to boost up your immune system. I know you're only on the Duo. Would you be open to talking about what the Vineyard blend would do to, I don't know, change your life? No, but for real, like you want to just like go into that kind of format. You want to just say like how the Vineyard blend and all the antioxidants are going to just boost up their immune system even more, and they're going to have a better health experience throughout the process and beyond. All right. And then Friday is final follow-up. So you want to close the gap on all activity that's happened that week. So you want to follow up without any outstanding people that haven't even reached out to you or haven't given you an answer yet, that if you were like, hey, if I send you a video, would you watch it? And then they like didn't say anything. You can be like, hey, just double checking and seeing if I can send you this video. I think it'd be really awesome. Like, when do you think you can watch it? So just make sure you kind of close that up. You want to gain final commitments from your customers and distributors to make sure you take action. And you want to make sure you set event dates. Again, events are super important. They've been a huge driving force for me and Kristen. And don't be afraid to ask your customers to host Facebook parties for you. If like you're in a slump and you like can't like get it together to have a day to like go and do a table or a vendor event or go to conference or go to a regional, but you need to have an event, don't be afraid to ask your customers or your family members or your friends if they can host an event for you. It's actually probably one of the easiest things because those are some people that you'd actually never know if you would meet, and they're going to bring them to you. It's like the easiest type of event because they're kind of inviting for you. You just have to make sure they're inviting. So, and then you have Saturday and Sunday. So we want you to enjoy your weekend, but we also don't want you to forget to share Juice Plus, share your story, and just with anybody that you're in contact with. One thing that I've really been working on, it, like I said, was building relationships. And I've been really trying to just have conversations with people and not even bring up Juice Plus. I have just been trying to like ask them about their life, like how everything's been going, seeing how their workouts are. So I work in a gym if you didn't know. Just kind of seeing and feeling them out, seeing how they're feeling. And then if they say anything that's like ding, 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 you want to make sure that you kind of capitalize on that, but start asking them more questions to kind of really get to the root of what's been going on. So always work with passion, always work with purpose, and ask your freaking life away. It's actually incredible like what people will tell you, and once you start asking them questions, and they'll just like word vomit everything about their life like on your lap, and you're like, oh, okay, I just asked how your day was. Like, you know, it's amazing. And then your DMO and do that. So your next week is just as kick-ass as this first one. Okay. So I'm going to stop share for like a hot second and talk to you about, I know we like talked a lot about DMO and you're looking at that. You're like, okay, so I know what I'm doing. I know what I have to do, but how the heck do I organize that? Right. Because I know I looked at that and I was like, okay, I have a planner. Like I can totally do this. But then I looked at my planner and I was like, this doesn't make any sense again. And you're kind of going into that confusion stage. So I talked to Kristen and I was like getting all really excited and making a worksheet for you guys, being like, yeah, you can totally like, this will be here and it's going to be so pretty. And I shared it with Kristen and Kristen's like, no. She was like, that really confuses me and my brain doesn't work that way. And I was like, okay, so how does your brain work? And she was like, not that way, but like I kind of picture it like this. And she was kind of explaining it to me and my head hurt. Like I was like, I don't understand what you're saying. So I actually made her get out of bed and draw it out for me because I was really confused. But then I sort of got it. And I think I got it. And I sent it to her and she goes, yeah, that makes so much more sense. So in this whole process of learning how to plan, I also learned like, so many people learn so many different ways. And you have to find what works best for you and roll with it. So if writing chicken scratch on a piece of paper makes so much sense to you and you can totally do that and you have to like start flipping it around to like remember where everything is and that makes sense to you, do it that way. That would drive me nuts and I would lose set. Couldn't do it. I have to like I said, compartmentalize everything. But Kristen likes everything very linear. So she likes her Monday to start up top and then a box so she can just write things in under it because that makes sense to her because then if she doesn't finish something on Monday, she can just move it to Tuesday. And then if she doesn't do a Tuesday, she can just move it to Wednesday. So she's just shifting it down, which in my, I don't know, but it's okay. There's nothing wrong with that at all. And I'm going to just show you two different examples. I know I'm putting it really close to the end, but I just want to show this to you and then open it up for questions. So here is, hang on, I just lost my Zoom.
And V, after you show them these ones, I do also want to share with them the one from Mission Driven Model.
Yeah.
I have it pulled up on my computer already that I can share if you want, just so they have another option.
Awesome. So this is what makes sense to me and Kelsey. We like everything all together in a lot, like all together compartmentalized. So like I need all my customers in a row. I need to know what I did with them and I need to know what happened. So I have it in my mind. And as I go through the week, I kind of can like move things over if I need to, but I have boxes that I can highlight things in there so I know like what happened, who I need to keep following up with, and I can always revert back to it. Whereas Kristen needs to have things very linear. So she needs to see Monday, customer prospect, and be able just to write it. Tuesday, these are the events I want to do. These are the prospects I want to reach out to for my business. Wednesday, this is what I didn't finish for Monday and Tuesday. Thursday, these are all my declines. These are all my cancellations. These are anyone who's delayed. So she just keeps moving linearly and just moves it over as she goes along. I'm going to challenge myself and try it this way and see if it works better, because when I don't do planners, I need an appointment book to go hour by hour, and that makes sense for me linearly. But when I do activities, a little bit more sense for me this way. So it just depends, and I challenge you all to just try it and see. I know Kristen wants to show you the other one too, so let me have her pull that up as I talk. Just try out different methods and see what works best, because you never know. You might think you learn a certain way, but something might actually make more sense to you in an organized mind differently. So I don't know, Kristen, if you want to talk a little bit about this DMO.
Yeah, so the DMO, you can actually find this on missiondrivenmodel.info, and this is the one that Juice Plus has created for us. And what it basically is we call it kind of like 2 by 2 by 2. So each section has like two tasks daily. So as you can kind of see on Monday, you're going to reach out to 2 new people. You're going to follow up with 2 people. You're going to do customer care for 2 people, whether it's checking in with a customer, adding them to a Facebook group, you know, following up if their order's ready to ship out. 2 team. So either check, if you have a team, checking in with 2 people on your team, or you know, reaching out to 2 new prospects and trying to get more people on your team. Setting up events, and remember, events can be anything from a connection call to coffee with a friend to a vendor table to a wine and wellness event. An event can be anything. 3-way call or Zoom, you know, social media. Make sure you guys are posting on social media. That's a really big thing. Post on social media. I'm going to throw that plug in there. And personal growth, whatever that personal growth may be, whether it's even like 5 minutes of meditation and self-reflection, whether it's listening to something on Audible, reading a book, whatever it is, just something to help better yourself, listening to a training on Zoom, anything like that. And the one thing that I did kind of want to touch on also is that we've been talking a lot about this, but let me stop share. And Veronica can touch on this a little bit as well, because you know, I know that we have a lot of people on this call. Some of you guys work full time and some of you guys don't. And a lot of the times the people that are working full time are like, where am I going to fit this stuff in? They're like, I get it. Great. I have this game plan, but like, when am I going to do it? And the bottom line is like, that's when you need to look at your calendar and find those little pockets of time. So even on my busiest days, when I'm eating breakfast in the morning, even with Max, or I'm having a cup of tea, I'm actually like going through and sending a message to a couple people or responding to a couple emails. When I'm sitting at a stoplight, I'll send somebody a message if I see something pop up. You know, when I get home at night and I'm watching TV with Mike, I will go online and message people, or I'll pull up my genealogy and write down everybody's names that I have the declines and cancels. So, you know, you don't have to sit down for a straight hour of time and do all of your tasks. You know, if you're working full time and you don't have that option, is to find those small little pockets of time to do things. Like I always joke that I get my best work done when I'm going to the bathroom. And if you're a mom on this call, you know, you totally get that. Like when you're in the bathroom, like kids are like, oh, she's pooping or something. Like they understand that. So like if you're at work and you go to the bathroom to pee, bring your phone with you. You can send out like 3 to 5 text messages to people. You know, in the time that you're peeing or going to the bathroom, like super easy. And now you've just killed 2 birds with 1 stone. So really trying to maximize on those little small stolen moments as you go through the day. And if you don't have any time all day and you get home and you're sitting down watching TV with your spouse or hanging out, it's just so easy just to pull up that phone, you know, and just send a couple people a message or follow up with somebody. So those are the times that you can use those small pockets of time to implement this DMO that we're showing you.
Absolutely. And you know, when you have it all planned out, it's not like you have to sit there and go through Facebook or something and try to be like, who am I going to message today? You already like thought about that. And that's like the beauty of it. And it makes it go so much faster when you just take the like 15 minutes to plan it on on Sunday or Saturday, whichever one makes more sense. I know we just like threw out a lot of information. So does anybody have any questions? I don't want to like keep you on here forever. No.
I'm gonna go ahead and stop record.
Okay.
And then